Hey everyone, welcome to our last day of health. Woohoo! I know you're excited. Today's video will be pretty short, but it is an important topic. We are talking about portion sizes today. So we're going to jump right in so that we can keep the video short because I know you guys still have yesterday's assignment to hopefully you've already finished it, but you should have done that first. So warm up today. How do you feel about the amount of food that you eat each day? Do you ever feel like you overeat? What might cause that? What might cause you to overeat? Do you really know how much food you should eat each day, or do you just eat until you feel full? So in America, one of our biggest problems is the growing sizes of portions. Before I was in high school, like this, so it was a long time ago, but there was no super size, there was no biggie size, there was nothing but the kids meal and an adult meal, and there really wasn't that much difference between the kids meal and the adult meal. When you're talking about a kids meal back then, the kids meals today look more like the adult meals looked like back then, and this is when I was in high school. So portions in the last 20 years have grown substantially. In high school, I would get from McDonald's a cheeseburger and a small french fry. That was the adult meal, and a medium, which was like the tiny Coke. And that was the meal. That was the entire thing. Now, my 3-year-old would eat that. We don't go to McDonald's, almost never. But if we did, that would be the portion size that was given to her. And I would have a portion size of the Big Mac and the gigantic french fry and the gigantic drink. And that meal, that gigantic Big Mac meal, we're talking over 1,000 calories, over half of the calories that you should eat in the day in one sitting. And most of the time it's more than, it's closer to 1,500 calories. So you would only have 500 calories left to eat for the entire rest of your day when you consume a meal that large. So the portions are literally getting out of control. And sometimes you think you're supposed to eat that much. Like, that much is in my meal, I should eat all of it. That much is on my plate, I'm supposed to eat it all. And that's just not true. And a lot of times you eat and then you end up feeling full and uncomfortable, and it's not a pleasant feeling. You overate. You ate too much. Your body doesn't need that, and you're not going to burn it off, and it's going to get stored as extra fat on your body. So we're going to talk today about how to control our portion sizes, why you might overeat, and some ways to hopefully fix that that issue if that's something that's going on with you. And I think that's something that's easy to go on anywhere, because that's the meal you get, and you feel like that's the meal you're supposed to eat, and you're supposed to eat all of it. So you go to wherever, Wendy's has the 4 for 4s, you get a hamburger, you can even get like a double stack or a bacon hamburger, you get chicken nuggets, you get french fries, and a drink. Like, that's a ton of food. In fact, I know we don't eat Wendy's very often either, but when we do, we split those. So they split the french fries. One kid gets the chicken nuggets, one kid gets the cheeseburger, the french fries are split in half, and so is the drink. So I get 2 of those for all 4 of my kids, because it's more food than they would ever need to eat in a regular sitting, or in one sitting of food. So if you take anything from this unit, I want you to take out what I'm talking about today. Watch your portion sizes. The food that you eat is of course important, and the better food you eat and the more nutrients you can put in your body, the healthier you're going to feel. I can't express to you enough how much better you will feel when you are eating healthy and exercising. You don't believe me, and you think, Ms. Johnson, this food is delicious. This is what I want to eat. I want to eat white bread, and I want to eat bacon, and I want to have donuts and McDonald's and all of these foods. And it's okay to have those foods. You just can't have them every single day. You can't have Takis every day, or Cheetos, or chips. You can have them 2 or 3 times a week. You can't have them for 3 meals of the day. You can't eat an entire bag throughout the day. Your body doesn't need it. It's empty calories. It's too much food. You're not even looking at the portion. I don't know. I don't like Takis. I've never eaten them, but I bet the portion size of Takis is like 7 or 8. For chips, for a bag of potato chips, the portion size is usually 11 chips. That's the portion size. That's what you're supposed to eat. But you walk away eating half the bag. So we're consuming too much. So I'm not telling you that you have to completely abandon all of your favorite foods. I am telling you to really, really try to watch the portion or the amount of food that you're eating, okay? All right, so let's get to these notes since we're already about halfway through what I wanted to have as a 10-minute video. Okay, so a serving size can also be called a portion size. It's the recommended serving size is the amount of food that you are supposed to eat during a snack or meal. So this is how much you're supposed to have. And you'll see that on the back of the label like we've already talked about. Okay? Now a portion, on the other hand, is the amount of food that you actually eat. So the serving size or the portion size is much different than what you actually have, is much different than the portion. So the portion size is what's recommended, whereas the portion is what you actually eat. If you eat more or less than the recommended serving size, you may get either too much or too little of the nutrients you need, or too much calories if you're overeating. Okay. Here are some tips to help you control your portion sizes. The first one is wait until you are hungry before you eat. Okay. I'm gonna switch this. Put this down. Okay. So wait until you are hungry to eat. Just because it's dinner time or just because it's lunchtime doesn't mean you need to eat. Even with breakfast, if you're not hungry right away, take something with you. Eat it when you start to feel hungry. Grab a granola bar, a banana, an apple, something that's easy to travel, and eat it when you start to feel hungry. If you're not hungry, you don't need to eat. Okay, your body lets you know when you need more food. 2, slow down. It takes 20 minutes for your brain to tell your body you are full. If you eat too fast, you will end up feeling overfull and uncomfortable. I'm sure you've had that feeling where something just tasted so good, so you had to go get more and more until you felt miserable, like you just wanted to lay on the couch and your belly hurt because you ate so much food, okay? And when that happens, your belly is actually growing. So your stomach is a muscle, and as it's a certain size, and as you overeat, it grows a little bit. So then it takes a little bit more food to fill it up. But that little bit more food is not being used in your body. It's just being stored as extra fat. So you overeat again and your belly grows a little bit more. So then it takes a little bit more food to fill it up. And that extra food is turning into extra calories, which turns into extra fat that just sits on your body because it's not being used. So when you hear of people that get like a band on their belly or the gastric bypass, their belly has grown so much that they are able to take like for like gastric bypass, they remove the majority of the stomach. They just leave a very small, tiny little bit, which is why they can only eat small amounts of food at a time. So they remove all the extra stomach that they had that just grew and grew and grew because they overate and overate and overate. A lap band or something like that would take the stomach and it would kind of just like put a band around half of it. So you're not going to use that half anymore. You're only going to use this part that's left. So that is how those surgeries work. They reduce the size of your stomach but if they continue to overeat, even with the gastric bypass or the band, the stomach will still grow. So when you're full, you have to stop eating. You don't want your stomach to continue to grow. And it doesn't, it will shrink back on its own as your body needs less calories and as you eat less food, it kind of comes back on your own. But you have to go a couple times of feeling hungry still in order for your stomach to kind of shrink back down. You can't keep feeling full, keep feeling full, keep feeling full, and expect your stomach to go back or be at a normal size. Okay? All right, let's go back to this. Okay, so take small portions the first time getting food. So if you're at a buffet or a cookout or even just dinner at your house, okay, go through once and get small amounts. If you eat it all and you still feel hungry, then you can go get more, okay? Then you can ask for seconds, but start with small portions, eat it, drink a full cup of water before or with your meal, and after about 20 minutes of slow, you've eaten the stuff on your plate, you've drank the water, if you still feel hungry, then you can go back. And I always tell my kids, they can always go back for fruits and vegetables. So they get their portion, they get their size, their portion size, the serving size, their recommended amount. They get that from me. and they finish it, they drink their water. If they still feel hungry when they're done, they can get as many fruits and vegetables as they want to help them feel full. They do not need to go back for more spaghetti or more chicken or more whatever it is. They had their serving size. They had what they needed to get the nutrients that they needed for the day. They can always have extra vegetables. They can always have extra fruit. So those are some things that my kids will get extra of if they're still feeling hungry. So keep that in mind. You can eat as many fruits and vegetables. A can of green beans has like 60 calories, right? That's like nothing. And it will fill you up. You would feel full by the time you're done eating that can of green beans. So go for something that has smaller amount of calories that you like and still fills you up. So find that vegetable, okay? And then the last tip on here is to use a smaller plate. So instead of a gigantic instead of like the tray that has like 6 spots for all the food, get a round, regular 8-inch plate and fill it up with a few foods. The less that's on your plate, the less you're gonna eat. And when you have a clean plate, you feel like, oh, I ate all my food and I'm done and I'm full. So try using a smaller plate to eat rather than the gigantic plate, because on the gigantic plate, it looks like it's not full and like you barely ate anything. And that tricks your brain into like, I need more, okay? All right, some tips for when you're going out to eat. So 10 minutes is already passed, so this is gonna be a 15-minute video. Sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Check the calories on the menu. All the fast food places, most menus when you go to a sit-down restaurant have the calories listed on the menu. Look for something that's less than 1,000 calories, okay? You don't want to consume more than 1,000 calories in one meal. That's too much. Choose water to drink. That helps save on a ton of calories, okay? Do not upsize your meal. Get the regular meal. If it's the small or the medium, whatever it is, just get the regular size. You don't need to go large size or biggie size or extra biggie or whatever they are. Or if you're at a place that offers lunch sizes, get the lunch size instead of the dinner size portion, okay? If you're out at a sit-down restaurant, ask for half your meal to be put in a box to take home. You do not need a half-pound hamburger. Ask for half of it to be cut and put in a box with half of your french fries and take it home for lunch or dinner another day, okay? Eat half of the meal. That will A, cut down on the calories, and B, it gives you a meal later, okay? And C, you're not overeating. Ask for your dressings or sauces to be put on the side. When they put the sauces or the dressings on your hamburger, so like let's say mayonnaise or other sauces that might be on a sandwich, they are determining how many calories. Mayonnaise is extremely heavy, fat heavy, so calorie heavy. Some other ketchup is extremely high in sugar, so it can be calorie heavy depending on how much you use. So you need to be in control of that. Salad dressing, have the salad dressing next to you. Use your fork, dip your fork into the dressing, and then that way every bite has salad dressing, but you're not just dumping it all onto your salad and using all of those calories. You can control how much of that sauce and dressing that you use, okay? And then if you're at a place that has chips or bread, eat the chips or bread, that's fine, but don't ask for more. Okay, if you get one loaf of bread, eat one loaf of bread. If you get one basket of chips, eat one basket of chips. I know that's hard because they're delicious. Let's be honest. Chips and bread are delicious. But you had some. You don't need more. Okay? Last thing I'm going to go over here really quickly, and this you don't need to write down, but these are just some guides for your serving sizes. Okay? So let me turn you around. So you can use your hand, okay, as a good, and I'll put this on so you can look at it. So if you're looking right here on this bottom, on the tip of your finger is the serving size of butter, okay? This is how much a teaspoon of butter is. That's a serving size. That's how much you need. Now think about that when you look at your finger. Is that how much you're putting on your toast? Peanut butter is the tip of your thumb. When you make a peanut butter sandwich, okay, this is a serving size of peanut butter. When you make your peanut butter sandwich, are you using that much? Just that tip of your thumb right there? Okay. Ice cream. When you make a fist, your ice cream ball should be no bigger than your fist right here. That's about a half a cup. That's it. No more. Okay. We talked about meat yesterday being about the size of a deck of cards. You can also use the palm of your hand. Any pasta, rice, or cereal is about a half a cup. Cereal might be a full cup, which would be 2, but you're looking at just what your knuckles look like. That is the serving size, guys. This kind of up here is the same thing. So 1 handful is a half a cup. Usually that's what a serving size of chips is. 11 chips fit in the palm of your hand. That's about it. 2 cups are both hands. Okay, or one, I'm sorry, this is a half a cup. 2 cups, or 2 would be 1 full cup. Okay, you can also use your full fist as a full cup. All right, so these give you some just ideas of how much food you should eat and where you're at, okay? All right, so that's it. When you're done, there's no quiz. I take that back. There'll be a quiz today. So when you have time, take the quiz. If you don't get to today, I'll leave it up for tomorrow as well because I know you have lots to do today. All right, guys, last day of notes. You should be happy. Yay. All right, have a good day. Bye.